Constance Meccarello-Gerson, and I'd like to read a section for you from my book, Murder at Hassel High, which is on sale at Amazon.com and also Audible. So here we go. It's a murder mystery. Chapter 1. Is this a dagger I see before me? Macbeth. We all hated her. The whole faculty hated her. Even the students hated her. As a principal, she was not a reassuring type of person. Not even nice. To put it more bluntly, she was unjust. She was always complaining about anything the faculty and the staff did. She held surprise inspections and observations. She wrote people up for the slightest rule infraction. Perhaps that's why, at 7 a.m. on Monday, June 1st, 2016, when I walked into her office for a scheduled meeting to discuss my teaching skills, I was not as shocked as I would have thought to find her dead. Her office, which was the size of my whole apartment, was a mess. The light in the outer office where her secretary Sheila sat was very dim, but the light was on in her inner office. I could see it under her door. I knocked. "Mrs. Booth?" I called. There was no reply. "Mrs. Booth?" I called out louder. Nothing. Perhaps she was brewing her evil brew, one of her endless pots of coffee. The woman was addicted to coffee. She drank it all day long. She walked the halls with a cup of black sludge in her hand. I tried the door handle. It opened. I stepped inside, and it ruined my day. In the middle of her office was a large, wooden, highly polished conference table. It could easily accommodate 20 people. Booth was seated in a chair at the head of the table, slumped over. Black roots were showing from the top of her dyed blonde head. Funny what you think about when you find a body. I walked over and touched her. She was very cold. Considering that she typically kept her office at 85 degrees, that told me something. And if that did not do it, the letter opener sticking out of her back did. I screamed. No one came. I guessed that the rest of the staff was not in yet. Mrs. Booth's office had very thick, soundproof walls. I grabbed the desk phone and called 911. When a calm person answered, I yelled into the phone, "The principal is dead!" The female operator and the police would send someone right away, but could I tell them what school I was in? Hassel High School. It's on the corner of Casino Boulevard and Union Turnpike in Queens, I said. "And hurry, I'm here alone, I think." The operator said the police would hurry. She then told me to go into the room with a locked door and wait for the police in case the criminal was still in the building. I went to the secretary's office and locked the outer door, then sat down on the wooden bench. No one could enter unless I unlocked the door, or someone had a key. I waited and waited. My mind wheeled round and round. Who could have done this? I sat, waited, and listened, and waited some more. Finally, after at least 10 minutes went by, I heard sirens in the distance. They were coming closer and closer, and they finally stopped in front of the school on busy Casino Boulevard. Footsteps tramped down the hall at a fast pace. I sat and hoped it was not another teacher who had an appointment after me with Booth. But when I unlocked the door, I found a tall, dark, handsome, Italian-looking detective in his early 50s. Really, my perfect fantasy man. If I wasn't already happily married. But I was. Happily married, I mean. I stared at him. He stared at me. We stared at each other. Did he seem familiar? He spoke. And I knew. "Hi, I'm Detective Joe Viola," he said. Doesn't it figure he still had those perfect teeth? He flashed his gold shield in my face. "Did you call 911? "Yes." He waited, looking at me. Suddenly his eyes widened. "Maria?" I nodded. "How you been, Joe? It's been a long time." We both smiled at each other. Over 30 years, 6 months, and an odd number of days. But who's counting, he said. Did you find a body? Yes. I ignored the year, month, day thing. Why was he still counting? This from a man who had broken off our engagement a week before the wedding? I quit the police department because I could not stand the thought of working with him every day without an explanation as to why he didn't want to marry me. He never gave me one. So I changed direction, got my master's degree, then went into teaching. I met Al, and we had a real wedding a year later. Life does go on. I still had not answered Joe's questions regarding Booth's location. Frankly, I could not believe he was standing in front of me after all these years. Where's the body? Now at this point, his smile was fading slightly, and his perfect teeth were beginning to look clinched. I'd had it. I mean, why was he just standing there? I pointed to Booth's cracked open door. He took a walk into Booth's office, and I fainted. When I came to, I was stretched out on the hard wooden bench with an EMC woman standing over me, a blood pressure machine attached to my arm. Is it high? I asked. I was on meds for high blood pressure. She glanced kindly at me. No, it's fine. I'm going to tell Detective Viola you are awake again. I know he has some questions. Viola, I said to myself. Doesn't it figure? I avoided him in the police station all these years after being dumped. It was a little too much. Detective Perfect came out of the inner office. He smiled that perfect smile again in my direction. Are you okay? He asked, concern in his voice. Yes. I am a child of the 60s and was taught at an early age to limit my answers to the police, even though I'd been a cop myself. After what Viola had done to me, I planned not to share too much with him. I'm going to stop there, and I hope you will purchase Murder at Hassel High by Constance Meckerle Gerson at Amazon.com, or go to Audible and get the Audible. Thank you very much.